And we're back, and today we're going to do a little bit of work on the Blade Revolution 90 micro helicopter. This is one of my favorite little micro helicopters that I have that I've got within the last year. This thing's a lot of fun, but as you can see, or even could see from the thumbnail, I broke it. It was sitting on a box that I leaned over and knocked it on the ground and stepped on it. And I didn't think it did much damage until I started to look at it because I wanted to fly it and realized that I had broke a bunch of stuff. This helicopter's been really fun and I wanted to fix it. So we're going to see if this helicopter only costs $109.99. At least when I purchased it, that's how much it cost. So we're going to see, is it worth fixing a $109 helicopter and fix it up, or just buy a new one? I think it's probably worth fixing, but it all depends on how much work you're willing to put into it. So let's go over what I broke when I stepped on it. The canopy's in good shape. It didn't break it. It just scuffed it a little bit and put a little bit of a dent there. So the canopy's fine. And then inside we broke the blade grips have this little ball on them that this ball link snaps to and does the blade twisting. That got broke off of both sides. You can see there, they're broke off. Supposed to be there. There. We also broke the swash plate. So there's a swash plate piece right here. I don't know if you can see. It got smashed and is cracked. That got done. I disconnected this already because it was connected there. And we also broke off one of the standoffs that hold on the canopy. And that one's the most unfortunate one just because that makes us do a lot more work to replacing it, because it is actually the entire mainframe of the helicopter. This one might be the most work, but I've kind of looked it over. Everything looks totally doable. Like, hopefully it's not too big of a pain. But we're going to find out in this video, is it worth fixing a helicopter or not? And can we get it put back together without breaking it again? Everything is so tiny and small. Can we unsnap everything and snap it back together without anything failing? So let's get right into it and start tearing it apart. We're going to start by, let's remove the blades off of here. Everything that on this helicopter looks like it's just a tiny little micro Phillips screwdriver. No Allen head. Doesn't look like anything else. So we'll put the blades in here, the direction that they come off. With the correct screws. If you're going to do this, make sure you have a decent little parts tray to put everything in. And we will go ahead and remove the... So we took the blades off. Let's take the landing gear off. I know I kind of looked over this a little bit, kind of got a little bit of a game plan on what I'm doing here. You just got to be real careful. Okay, the landing gear comes off pretty easy. All of this stuff has got to come off of here, unfortunately. Motor, all of this stuff. Not really happy about that. Hoping this isn't a giant nightmare. I believe the tail section, yep, it just comes out, has a little flat spot on it that lines up. So there's the tail section. These screws are so small. Gonna disconnect this little ball off of there. That came off okay. This is the first time I've ever done this, so we're learning together how to do this. Doesn't look bad, but then at the same time it kind of looks like a bit of a nightmare. guess getting the electronics out of the way is the first thing. Okay, so far so good there. So we'll leave this one attached, and we'll disconnect the motor plug, which is the red and blue one. And looks like all of this has got to come off, so okay. Here we're just going to stick this sticker on this one, so it'll remind me where this goes. This is one reason why I don't want to disconnect all the plugs. I could go back through the video and review. I'm just trying to make my life easier to get it put back together. So I know that one goes on this side, this one goes on the opposite side. So we'll just set the electronics over there. So now we're down to the main frame. There's a lot going on there. So the motor looks like it's glued in, so I'm going to have to find some shoe goo. Well, it came out pretty easy, but I'm sure it's glued to keep it from rotating. There's our little motor. Now, I think I know what this is called, but I'm not sure, but I think we take the rotor head off. There we go. So we get the rotor head off. Okay, so here's what we got. This is the main frame. So I just want to start transferring everything over. So the part that broke off was this little stem right here on the other side. Other than that, the main frame would have been fine, but that's the part that broke and the canopy wobbles, so I bought that to replace it. So now we just need to, oh, there's another screw there. Set that to the side. Put that screw right there because it's going to go right back on. That might be fun to get lined up, but so I got that out. So we just need to push out this bearing. So now we're just got the frame all stripped down. Now we just got to put it back together. There we go. And then we need to change the swash plate. So here's the new swash plate. Comes with bearing all kind of assembled, so that makes life a lot easier. So we need to make sure this end here goes in that slot, like that. Called the grip linkage set. So I bought some new of those just because I thought the other ones were so small and dainty that if they were cracked or if I break them, then I'll have an extra. So it looks like these snap on. I don't know if you can see that, but these ones here are shorter than those ones, so that's ones that they have to go on. These snap onto the long ones. Okay, they go on pretty easy. Just kind of nervous about breaking the balls off. There we go. There's number 2. Okay. Got that part replaced. Now we need to change the blade grips, which are these parts up here where I broke the balls off of. They screw together. It's kind of nice that you can fix these little guys. I know that a lot of people do not know that you can fix some of this stuff. They think once it's broken, and they'll just literally throw it in the trash. As long as you can still get parts for them, and you get a decent brand, parts are usually available for quite some time afterwards. And that's the advantage to buying hobby grade RC of any kind, is knowing that you can replace the parts, find parts, and you can fix them. So that little stud right there is what broke off of both sides when I stepped on it. So that's why we have to change these. There's that. Well, this is going pretty smooth so far. We do need to find some kind of something to glue the motor in with. So the motor just sits down in there all the way to the bottom, like that. And then we'll just need to put a little adhesive on there. I've got some here somewhere that I will do. And now we can, let's see, let's click these back on. Got 1. Got 2. Okay, that's all back in working order. Plug the motor in while we're here. We'll take this style screw, the one with the washer head, screw down this. I actually don't know what part of the helicopter this is. I'm guessing this is, well, this would be the ESC receiver and gyro system, and then these things are basically a servo of some kind. I don't know what they actually call them, but they would be a servo. Okay, now we're going to screw the servos back on. These screws are so small. Okay, we got that side on. The top part is a pin, and then there's just 3 here, 3 screws. So now I'm going to rotate around. We'll remove the sticker. Okay, so we found our last little tiny micro screw. It flew into the tray, it looks like. Luckily. These are the biggest pain of the project so far, is these tiny little screws that hold in the servos. Okay, there's the last one. So we have all the electronics back onto the mainframe. Everything seems to be where it should go. So now we just need to hook up the linkages. So this one, Goes there. Just be very gentle putting this back on. Don't go crazy. There we go. Okay. And then, let's see. Tail boom. So, the one thing I have noticed, there's a flat spot on the tail, this tail section right there. So the flat spot goes down because there's a flat spot inside of here. So down, and you know it's down is the big part downwards. And then the wires come out the top. As you can see, there's a little small area. So the wires come out the top of that hole. Just like that. And that way it can't pivot. Wires don't get pinched. We just need to put the blades on. So I put the blades in here in the correct facing manner. So we'll just put them back in like this. Okay, you want to make sure the blades are loose. So you want to get it as to where they're touching. So you like just that little bit of a turn, it doesn't move. There we go. Check the back one more time. Okay, we're all back together. I'm excited to fly this thing finally. It's been a couple months since it's been broken, and I just kind of didn't really think about it. And the other day, I'm like, I wanted to fly it, and I couldn't. Whoa. Always be careful of that. Throttle down. Anyway guys, we got the helicopter all fixed. Now the audio might sound a little bit different because my microphone died. I'm close to the end of the video and you might be able to hear the 3D printer or anything in the background running. Sorry about the audio, but the end of the video. So is what I said before the microphone died, which sucks when that happens, is this video was about, is it worth repairing a helicopter when you break little things like this on your micro RCs when the helicopter itself only costs $100 to begin with? I would say yes. We spent probably around 25 bucks on the parts or so, plus I ordered it with some other stuff, so the shipping didn't really affect anything there. You get the stuff from Tower Hobbies, or A-Main, somewhere that has really inexpensive shipping. Tower Hobbies has very reasonable small part price shipping. It's only like $5 to get little tiny stuff shipped. So I would highly recommend fixing your helicopter. Unless it's totally smushed and you got a lot of bad electronics or something, it might not be worth it. But at this point, I think this was totally worth it. I'm glad to have my helicopter back and fixed. I will put links in the description to the helicopter, blades, parts, any of the stuff for the Revolution 90. This is a great little helicopter. It comes with a great remote, great for beginners. I just really like this helicopter. It has, I mean, I want to say I'm not a helicopter professional. I just like to fly them here and there. I'm not really good at it. So anyway, guys, check those links in the description. Anything you purchase from those links will help out the channel, and I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and thanks for watching.